Cape Fear saves its biggest surprises for the finale. Throughout the season, Max Cady has manipulated, stalked, and psychologically tortured the Bowden family, making it clear that his revenge was never simply about punishing the people he believed had wronged him. He wanted to completely destroy their lives from the inside out. By the end of episode 10, Max's carefully constructed world collapses under the weight of long-buried secrets, but the finale also makes one thing painfully clear. Defeating someone like Max is very different from escaping the damage he leaves behind. The final episode is not just about stopping a serial predator. It is about confronting guilt, accepting painful truths, and asking whether revenge can ever truly bring peace. Let us break down everything that happens. The finale begins immediately after Anna escapes from Max's boat. For the first time all season, Max realizes that he is losing control. His entire revenge plan depends on keeping everyone exactly where he wants them. Anna's escape threatens everything. The first person to suffer because of that failure is Crystal. She knows Max will blame her for letting Anna escape, so she desperately tries to appeal to the man she once knew. She reminds him of their shared past. She admits she made mistakes. She even offers forgiveness if he is willing to forgive her. The tragedy is that Crystal still believes there is a small part of Max capable of mercy. She is wrong. Max has reached the point where forgiveness means nothing. Without hesitation, he shoots Crystal. It is one of the clearest moments showing that the version of Max who once loved anyone has completely disappeared. His obsession with revenge has consumed every remaining piece of his humanity. Luke's death is even more heartbreaking. When the frightened boy tells Max that he is his son, Max refuses to believe him. From Max's perspective, Luke is simply another obstacle. Only after noticing the scar on Luke's body does he briefly hesitate. Unfortunately, he never understands its importance until it is far too late. He sets the boat on fire, cuts the anchor loose, and unknowingly murders his own child. At the time, neither Max nor the audience fully understands the devastating irony. That truth is saved for much later. Meanwhile, Anna realizes this is her final opportunity to expose Max publicly. Her plan succeeds because it attacks him from every direction at once. Nat's prison recording proves Max carefully orchestrated his campaign against the Bowdens. Crystal's secretly recorded conversations expose how he manipulated Amy into confessing to murder before encouraging her to end her own life. For months, Max carefully controlled every narrative surrounding himself. Now those lies collapse in front of an entire crowd. The public image he spent years building disappears within minutes. His immediate attack on Anna proves he has abandoned all attempts to appear respectable. At last, everyone sees the real Max Cady. For a brief moment, it appears the nightmare has finally ended. Max is arrested. The Bowdens begin imagining life after his capture. Even Tom and Anna cautiously allow themselves to believe they have survived. That hope disappears almost immediately. Max assaults the officer transporting him and escapes custody. This moment reinforces one of the season's central ideas. As long as Max remains alive, nobody around him is truly safe. The sequence inside the Bowden home becomes the emotional and psychological climax of the entire series. The police search every room. Yet they overlook one crucial place: the rooftop. It perfectly reflects Max's greatest strength throughout the season. He always remains just outside everyone's field of vision. He waits patiently, then strikes when people believe the danger has passed. Once inside the house, Max does not immediately begin killing people. Instead, he recreates the courtroom trial that has haunted him for years. This is extremely important. For Max, revenge has never been only about violence. He wants validation. He wants someone to admit that his suffering resulted from deliberate betrayal. That is why he forces Tom and Anna to defend themselves one final time. Tom continues insisting he never had an affair with Anna before the trial. He admits he eventually fell in love with her, but only after the legal proceedings had ended. Whether Max believes him no longer matters. His judgment has already been decided. The most shocking revelation belongs to Anna. For the entire season, viewers believed Max had been imprisoned because the evidence against him proved overwhelming. The finale completely changes that understanding. Anna reveals that the jury had actually been leaning toward finding Max not guilty. He was close to walking free. At that moment, Anna faced an impossible decision. She was pregnant. She feared Max was the father of her unborn daughter. The possibility of spending the rest of her life connected to him terrified her. Rather than risk that future, she secretly worked with the prosecution to secure the harshest possible sentence. Not because she wanted revenge, because she wanted protection. She believed prison was the only place where Max could never reach her or her child. This confession changes both characters forever. Anna has carried enormous guilt for years. Max suddenly realizes his entire life unfolded differently because of one desperate decision. His rage immediately shifts toward Natalie. If Anna destroyed his future to protect her daughter, then killing Natalie becomes, in his mind, the ultimate form of justice. Then comes perhaps the biggest twist of the entire finale. Anna reveals evidence suggesting Luke truly was Max's son. Not with Crystal. With Melissa. Everything suddenly falls into place. Crystal was physically incapable of giving birth. The scar on Luke's body now has an entirely different explanation. When Crystal murdered Melissa years earlier, she cut the unborn baby from Melissa's body and secretly raised him herself. That means Luke was actually Adam all along. The child Max believed died before birth had survived. The devastating tragedy is that Max unknowingly killed him only hours earlier aboard the burning boat. This revelation completely destroys him psychologically. For the first time all season, Max experiences genuine regret. The hallucinations haunting him change. Instead of seeing the imagined version of his lost child, he now sees Luke. The truth becomes unavoidable. His obsession with revenge ultimately caused him to murder the very son he spent years believing had been stolen from him. It is the cruelest irony imaginable. The man who claimed everything he did was for justice ends up destroying the one person he truly wanted to protect. While Max struggles emotionally, Natalie quietly frees herself. Her escape represents something larger than simple survival. Throughout the season, Natalie has repeatedly refused to surrender to Max's manipulation. Even now, she continues fighting. Using the nail gun against Max is one of the finale's most satisfying moments. Although it does not stop him permanently, it proves Natalie has become far stronger than the frightened teenager Max believed he could control. Zach's recovery is equally important. Earlier, Max's psychological conditioning convinced Zach that many of his own memories belonged to Max instead of Tom. The memory of going fishing finally breaks that control. Instead of seeing Max in the memory, Zach finally remembers the truth. His father was always Tom. This restored memory allows Zach to reject Max's influence completely. Together, the entire Bowden family finally fights back. Anna stabs Max. Tom overpowers him. Max realizes he has finally lost control. He runs toward the swimming pool with Tom chasing him. The underwater struggle becomes the perfect symbolic ending. Throughout the season, Max attempted to drag the Bowdens into his world of hatred, revenge, and violence. Now Tom and Anna literally hold his life in their hands. For several terrifying seconds, they seriously consider drowning him. From a practical perspective, Tom's earlier argument makes perfect sense. As long as Max lives, he remains dangerous. Prison has already failed once. He escaped. He manipulated people from behind bars. There is every reason to believe he could eventually come after them again. Killing him would permanently eliminate that threat. So why do they stop? The answer comes from their children. Natalie shouts for them to kill him. Those words suddenly force Anna to see the future they are creating. If they murder Max in front of Zach and Natalie, they will teach their children that revenge is the final answer. Everything they have fought to protect would disappear in that single moment. Max wanted to destroy their morality as much as their lives. If they become killers willingly, then in many ways Max wins. By choosing mercy, they refuse to let him define who they become. That decision separates the Bowdens from Max forever. They have every reason to hate him. They simply refuse to become him. The final scenes initially appear peaceful. The family gathers outside. They laugh. Tom grills burgers. Life finally resembles the ordinary happiness that existed before Max entered their lives. Natalie also makes one final choice. She receives the DNA results that could reveal whether Max is her biological father. Earlier in the season, that answer consumed her. Now she chooses not to open the envelope. This is one of the finale's most powerful moments. Natalie finally understands that biology alone does not define family. Tom raised her, protected her, loved her. Max manipulated her, threatened her, tried to murder her. Regardless of what the DNA test says, Natalie already knows who her real father is. The envelope no longer has the power it once did. However, the series refuses to end with complete optimism. Journalist Tabitha publicly admits she loved Max. Her confession immediately reminds viewers that Max's influence extends beyond prison walls. People continue believing in him. Some remain emotionally attached to him. Others may still be vulnerable to manipulation. Then the final images drive home the season's most unsettling message. Tom repeatedly looks toward the swimming pool as though expecting Max to emerge again. Anna instinctively glances over her shoulder. Neither of them can fully relax. The danger may be gone physically. Psychologically, it remains. Trauma does not disappear the moment the threat ends. It lingers. It changes how people see the world. Even surrounded by family on a peaceful afternoon, neither Tom nor Anna completely believes they are safe. Ultimately, the ending of Cape Fear is not about whether Max Cady survives. It is about the permanent scars he leaves behind. The Bowdens defeat him without sacrificing the values that separate them from the man who tried to destroy them. Natalie chooses family over biology. Zach begins reclaiming his true memories. Tom and Anna rediscover each other after surviving unimaginable trauma together. Yet the finale wisely refuses to promise that everything will return to normal. Max remains alive, his influence continues reaching vulnerable people, and the psychological damage he inflicted cannot simply be erased. The final glance over Tom and Anna's shoulders reminds us that escaping evil is possible, but forgetting it is much harder. That lingering uncertainty gives the finale its haunting power and leaves the story ending not with absolute victory, but with hard-earned hope that the Bowdens can finally begin healing without allowing Max Cady to define the rest of their lives.